Hi Aries, welcome to your reading for the end of July. My apologies that I'm this late with your reading. You, Taurus, and Gemini did not get a July reading yet. So at this point, I was like, should I just move on to August? But I really did feel that I had to put something out for you guys. So I'm just gonna go with the flow. Um, Overall, big month, and especially for you guys because the North Node just moved into your sign and that will stay there for around 18 months. So, definitely a more longer transit, and also you will have moments where it kind of really enhances. And it's often, of course, during the eclipses and during the eclipse season that we're going to have. And just overall, I'm sensing that for you personally, it is all about stepping more and more into your own authentic sense of self and really showing up in the world as you. And in order to really do that, in order to feel comfortable with that, it also is about discovering new things about yourself. So you're becoming more and more aware of the growth that you've made the last couple of years and how much more you are either kind of disconnecting from certain type of people, maybe from a certain group of people, or just maybe your person. And just overall understanding that certain things that may fit you, used to fit you, used to bring you some level of fulfillment or joy or contentment, or whatever way, shape, or form you felt connected to it on a deeper level, you may no longer really feel like you're in alignment with it. And there's nothing wrong about that, Aries. That's like actually really natural and really human. Like we are all, regardless if we are married or if we, have a family, have children, regardless if we've been working at a similar job for 20 years, we are always also on our own individual path. And a lot of times, we align with another person or with a certain company or at a certain, pace with someone else, but we're always also on our own, personal journey. And sometimes those road, well, what is best for us and where we're supposed to transform towards and move in towards on a personal level, that growth that we always go through, it comes naturally. um, Sometimes it means that the best thing for you or the best thing for the other person at the same time, um, is that your ways split and your ways go different spaces. And sometimes it is something with you. Something um, in order to keep something around, you have to continue to go linear, you have to continue to move forward. But actually the pathway that is in your highest good, that brings you the most fulfillment, that brings you the most stability, and also just the most growth, kind of goes, maybe takes a left turn or a right turn. And then you're gonna have to come on a crossroads points where you have to make those decisions. And I feel a couple years ago it was easier to continue to go linear, but I'm sensing that this next, let's say from now moving forward, definitely this year and a half, you'll find yourself on certain crossroads where actually that new road, actually that thing, that pull becomes stronger. The thing that it feels like it makes the most natural sense to choose those things, to move away or move towards something, just becomes stronger. And therefore it just puts you in a position where if you continue to go linear and moving forward on the pathway you're on, just doesn't feel the same anymore. It doesn't rub the right, places as it used to. So that's what I'm sensing. And that's just a journey overall. That's really like, very general that I'm sensing for you guys. But it's all about unraveling things within yourself. So take time to really take those things in. Like you will have your moments where yes, you're out there, you're doing your thing, you're being your Aries sense of self, you're going, you go getter. All of that is all good. No problem with it at all. But you also you're going to find yourselves maybe weeks where you just feel a little off and you kind of just need some quiet time. You kind of just need some time to really think things through. And if you take your time and you honor yourself, you honor those energy cycles, you will quickly get and gain the guidance from it and the knowledge and the wisdom, and then also you know what to do because it just clicks. And that's also something that I'm sensing with this North Node energy for you guys. So it is often, of course, also connected to your seventh house, because you will have eclipses in your seventh house as well, which is the house of you and others. But that once again reflects back to you. You know, it reflects back to yourself. So that's why it's important that you understand that individual journey and taking those things into account, and try not to let the outside world to reflect it too much back to you, like the things you want to do versus what is easily accessible, and then that's your only option. There might be some other options way beyond that. So have an open mind, have an open heart, and especially treat yourself with kindness. It's very important. Because it's not necessarily the most easy breezy thing, but it's very beneficial for your growth, and also just, you know, moving towards the pathway of your happiness, which is often, you know, kind of what we all want to achieve in life. And happiness isn't a constant state. You have moments of feeling happiness, a moment of feeling connected, fulfilled, but often it has to do with you just feeling aligned. You know, you feel grateful for all the things that are around you, that you feel, you know, emotionally connected to them. All right, let's move forward. Let's see what else. Look at that. Beautiful King of Cups is what I'm saying. The King of Cups, Aries, is so important because this person, through life and through life experiences, try to sort of follow this pathway of like, I am either, you know, I'm a masculine, I'm a man, or, you know, whatever shape or form. And so I should do this, and so I should provide, or so I shouldn't show my emotions, or so I should be strong, or so I should be this and be that, and not be this and not be that. And found itself often walking against walls, because that also kept him from not necessarily developing that emotional intelligence within himself, but also within others. And so because it was reflecting and sort of disconnected from his own emotions, it couldn't connect with other people's emotions either. It's often the way we treat our own sense of self is often how we reflect it back to others in a form of compassion and empathy. Because that's thought behavior. That's not for all. I'm not saying that that's for everybody. I'm just saying a lot of times we are way harder than we are on the people. But this is a cycle. But this person kind of understood the power and the beauty of integrating both. Yes, the mind, so the heart, as above, so below. Understanding your emotional body has a lot of wisdom, has a lot to say, and has great guidance. And if you are willing to balance the things out and not see it as something as, ooh, being vulnerable is weakness, you know, I shouldn't say, or I shouldn't express, or I shouldn't feel this way, I'm like way better, I'm better than that, or it's like, no, I'm comfortable with this side of myself, and I nurture that side of myself just as much as I nurture the other side. It's a lot of emotional balance, but it's also emotional fulfillment through actually acknowledging what's there and not judging itself for it. And of course, you know, this is a, you know, we can say like he and the masculine, but it's the King of Cups. King of Cups is very emotional intelligent. It's very comfortable with the growth that it's made, and understands the balance within himself. And it's not about a man or gender or whatever. It's not gender specific. It's just the way the masculine gets comfortable with his own vulnerability, which is very powerful. And we all have a masculine energy within us. And when our masculine gets comfortable with the qualities of the feminine within its sense of self, there's so much growth. It's very beautiful, Aries. You have the Two of Pentacles that came up with that. That's exactly kind of sort of juggling both worlds, juggling both sides, and actually doing a great job at that. So I don't know if it is point in time you are actually juggling multiple things at the same time, but you understand what you're doing it for. It's like I do stuff to put bread and food on the table and a roof above our heads, but I also do something that emotionally fulfills me, that gets my creative juices flowing, that brings me a sense of joy and feeling like I don't only have to do things in my life. I can also just enjoy things just because I feel like it, just because I woke up this morning and I felt like going water skiing and it's my day off and I'm gonna do it. Because I don't only have to do things just because they make me money, just because they put me in a better position, just because people asking me of this. It's also important you do things that you just want to do, you feel like doing. And this is the thing with growing up, and in grown up life and so many responsibilities. And there's nothing wrong with responsibilities, but often there's just only so many hours in the day. And we feel like, okay, we work, we have kids or we don't, but we have a lot of things going on in our life. There's a lot of like, we have to, or we promise, or we should, And then we're like, oh, but in 3-4 weeks I have a vacation for like 2 weeks, so then I'm gonna do this, or then I'll take a spa day, or then the thing is how do we integrate little moments of things I want to do in each and every single day, even if it's just for 5 minutes. And you'll notice that if you grant yourself something, even if it's maybe not every day, but maybe like 2 times a week, like Mondays and Fridays, you do this, or you get yourself that, or you cook something, or you go out for dinner, in whatever way, shape, or form. It's just like, how can you integrate those little moments of joy where you recognize that, hey, how you emotional feel about things and in your life is also important. Where your ships are coming in. I also feel like you feel more comfortable with letting things go that are not for you. Maybe back in the days you used to kind of jump on every opportunity just because you had like maybe a form of fear of missing out, or feel like, it's showing up, so I should, do something with it. I can't let this pass me by, or, feeling like time is running out. But you don't feel, you're growing into a space where you don't feel the same way about that anymore. It's like, oh, well, this shows up because I'm supposed to choose myself, and this is kind of a test of the universe. It's like, much better, exactly. Like something that used to put you in a headspace also felt like maybe based on that you missed a couple opportunities, and now you like, kind of just trying to juggle everything at the same time. Maybe you're doing a lot of things because you lost something, or you feel like, you're grieving about something, some wish, some goal, and so you're trying to do so much or spend so much time elsewhere that you can't even think about it, or that you're trying to sort of make up for it in some way, shape, or form. So I'm sensing that you are definitely going about things in a much more healthier, balanced way. You understand what is coming from a place of fear and what's coming from a place of guidance, and understanding what's the difference of the voice from your intuition and from what your higher self is guiding you to do versus what you are fearing of happening if you don't do it. And look, you have the Knight of Swords and all that energy you see, like, I'm going after it. And there's like the Knight of Cups. It's like, no, I'm on the pathway. I am in divine timing. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, and I'm going to continue to show up in the present moment with love, with compassion, with patience, and with a lot of passion and love and an open heart. I'm going to just go on such a high speed that everything kind of just passes by looking the same. Like if you go hard enough with a car, every tree will look the same. Every tree stem, you pass by like tree. It's like maybe there's this beautiful one tree, but you can't see it because you're going way too quick. It's like my focus is out there. So it's all like moving towards, but what's passing by is like you forgot about to enjoy the journey. It's important. Like if your life, like I said right earlier on, like maybe you're just so busy and you kind of like, I don't have any times for any needs. I just need to do things like, you know, or things I want to do, things I feel like I need to do. It's only like I have to. And obviously I'm not denying that there's a lot of have to's, but at the same time, there can be balance. You know, and it's like if we focus on, okay, I'm just going to put myself through, I'm going to put my head down for 6 months or 8 months or a year or 2 years or 3 years to get that education or get this or get that, so then I can finally buy that house, or then I can finally take it easier. It's like you forget that the whole journey is also, you know, it has a lot of things to offer. And I'm sensing that you're going into a different speed. You're not necessarily missing any marks. You're not going like, yeah, it's not like you're lowering your standards or whatever. It's just like other things become more important, and so the journey by itself feels much more richer. Like the connections around you just start to feel more real, more authentic, more depth. Not only like I visit you when you have a birthday and you come to my house with your kids when you have a birthday, and that's kind of sort of it. We have a chat and then we go up on our way. It's like, no, you know what? Like wanting to invest into building those bonds, deeper bonds, having the hard conversations in order to then have a more fruitful connection. Other things just become more important. And like I said, let that unravel and show itself in a natural way. Like I said, that North Node will be in your sign for like 18 months. Like that energy will be around. You don't need to, now it's in your sign, so now you should know. It's not about that, because obviously we're dealing with a lot of other things energetically. So take the time, Aries, you know, especially because eyes are on you. People look to you for guidance. And if you show them like, hey, yes, I'm a fire sign. Yes, I'm a cardinal fire sign. Yes, I am an Aries. Yes, I am. You know, you guys represent the I am. And yet, I do it with passion, and I do it with full dedication, and I do it instantly, and I have an feeling and I go about it, but I do it with a sense of grace. I do it with a sense of not no matter what. It's like everything, despite of everything, I'm moving my own pace. I'm not on, you know, Earth's timing. I am on divine timing. All right, I'm gonna move on to the next message. Here we go. Queen of Swords. Yep. See, it's like, I feel like you had a lot of energy leaks. Maybe a person from the past that kept just, you know, sort of like going around in your mind, or you showed up in some dreams, and maybe there's like this old neighbor, and it's like this thing, and it's like all these things, like sort of energy leaks. Like, I feel like you want to clear out your headspace. You want it to become much more, you know, when we clean out a room, and we're like, you know what, this doesn't serve me. I'm just gonna remove this. And it's not about adding new things in that place. It's like, you know what, I like this empty space. Like, of course I like to have some color here and there or whatever, but that's enough. Like, I kind of like the peace, you know? It's that feeling. And I'm sensing like you want your heart space to have space for whatever shows up. Like, if you're completely occupied all the time, like, you're not even gonna see what's right in front of you, what's right behind you. It's like, it's right there, and you're ready to turn around. It's like it's right there in front of you. That's how I feel like you guys are going to finally make it a certain decision, really clear-headed space. Maybe you're really gonna take out some time to heal a part within yourself, and then once you do that, Aries, like, make a good turnaround. You see an instant payout. Look at that, the Chariot. Yup, you won't turn around. Kind of just sort of ride right up into victory for yourself. It's like this energetic loop that you're, this cycle that you breaking through. Yep, Ten of Swords. It's an ending. It's an ending of a cycle. And it's not an easy one. For some of you, it's a cycle of abuse. And that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing abuse. And it's like, it's not an easy cycle. You know, often when we grow up in a environment where there is a form of abuse, and there are many different forms and many different levels to it. And sometimes it's such a refined form of abuse that we kind of just feel like, oh, that's just, you know, my mother, or that was just my dad, or that was just my grandmother. It's like, you know, it's just who they are. And actually growing up and seeing those qualities back in other people around you, the type of job you chose, the type of partners that you felt connected to. And it's like, it's a kind of sort of a cycle. Once you become aware of it, once you become awake to that, you see like, whoa, like here's that red line, it goes right up until this, it goes right through that connection to that job, to that person. It's like, it's shocking, it's intense, it's like, it's a moment where you're like, whoa. And obviously the first instinct you want to do is like, oh no, you know what, I'm tripping, like that's not the truth. And but you can't. It's like this voice that just continues to go on. Take time with that, because it takes time. And be graceful with yourself when it comes to that. But you are closing out a cycle, and because there's just this one thing that you start to view differently, just because simply you can no longer put yourself in that way of viewing it. It's like, no, I'm awake, like I can't. So I'm gonna take some distance, gonna take some time to think about, you know, how can I heal from that, and maybe find a new way for this connection, or maybe find a new way of dealing with this, show up where it's also authentic to myself. Maybe that's not showing up at all anymore and choosing yourself. But some of you, it may be just having some distance, and the answers will come to you. All right, what else for Aries? Aries, I'm really sensing with this Strength card and with this Chariot, like your day in the sun has arrived. That's something I feel very strongly. Look at that, Ace of Wands. Okay, now Ace of Wands with the Four of Wands. Your day in the sun. Look at the light is shining up on you, because you're no longer willing to close your eyes to the things that it's trying to illuminate. And once you're ready to look at everything from a place of truth, every side, it also brings about the answers. What will make you feel happy and feel like you're, like I'm hearing also imposter syndrome, feeling like you deserve to have it. This is one thing to be successful. Like, what is success? Divine success, it means differently for every single person, you know? It's something else. But it's like to feel deserving of the success, or of the love, or of the recognition that you're receiving, because you will receive, like I said, like eyes are on you. To feel like you really do deserve it, and you did that, and you're proud of yourself, and you recognize that you've reached a milestone, regardless of whatever milestone you still want to reach. It's like having a moment to have a moment and celebrate yourself, being proud of yourself. And it's a gift that comes, the gift of like a fire that starts within you. It's almost like a beating drum. It's like to-dum, 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 to-dum. It's like it's a rhythm, and it starts, and it brings about this trance almost within you. It's like, you know what? I feel like if I follow this beat, this rhythm, it kind of just feels good, and it kind of just starts to spread throughout your entire life, and just you start to feel this healing rhythm coming through. That's what I'm sensing. Like, it's a major side note, but then again, like, I'm just channeling this energy for you guys, so take it as it may. Okay, I'm gonna get a goddess guidance card, because there's no other deck that, you know, will do for now. Like, this is it. Blossoming. Yep, you are just getting started, is what they are saying, Aries. So have patience with yourself and the process. Do not give up. Wow. You're just getting started, Aries. It's constantly what I said. Have grace with yourself. Have that patience. It's like, have patience with the process. Do not give up. Do not give up. Do not give up. Do not give up. All right? I'm going to read this one from the book. I hardly do that anymore with this deck, but I feel like I should. Let me see. Here we go. In many ways, you are like a flower. You are like a flower bud who was ripe and ready to open and grow. Don't try to rush this process, as it's part of your beautiful path. Enjoy learning new knowledge and new skills. Take your time to gather new ideas. Nurture your body with plenty of fresh air, sunshine, water, and healthful food. Soon enough, you'll get the unmistakable signal that it's time to put your learning into action. Spend time among flowers or work with flower essence and oils to support your growth process. The various card of this meaning could be slow down and have patience. Get involved with gardening. Use aromatherapy or flower essence. Keep the faith. Beautiful. So Ericura is a Celtic and Germanic goddess who multitask as an earth mother, deity, and a fairy queen, and also a bridge between earthly life and the hereafter. She helps us to put our goals and challenges into perspective so that we don't needlessly stress ourselves. Call upon her emergency money or help in manifesting supply. She's especially fond of assisting artists and inventors. Well, Aries, that's exactly what you are, you know. You guys are artists in life and inventors. So I'm definitely sensing strongly that you guys are at the beginning of a new, journey, and take your time. Like I said, it's about enjoying the journey with an open heart, with patience and grace with yourself, with passion. If it's really worth having, then the road there should also benefit you to then reach that goal and think back like, I remember the days when we used to do this and that, and in order to make that step, and then we got there, and it's like the journey is important. So I'm gonna leave it at that because I've been talking for 28 minutes and I still have a lot of readings to do and an August reading coming up for you guys as well. So, but you guys have to wait so long. So I hope definitely, this might not be for a big group, but I hope definitely there was something in there that was helpful for you guys. If so, please, I'm gonna start asking it because I think it's important. Hit the like button because I really appreciate that. Apparently it helps with the channel. But for now, just have a lovely end of July, and I'll be back with the August readings. All right, Aries. Mwah. Bye. I love you. Bye, Aries.